Give an example of a quadratic function whose graph would result in a parabola that is wide, points down. Both of those are done with A, right? A takes care of those requirements, and has a y-intercept of 0, 4. So a wide, the safest would be 0.5, something between 0 and 1. Points down, I have to put the negative in front. Okay, and then I need to make sure that has x squared. And you could just do this. That would take care of, right? Variations, there could be variations. You could have done something like this. Right, so I will really be looking at A, is it negative and is it between 0 and 1? And I'll be looking at the constant at the end. That's half and half today. So half for the correct A value, half for the correct y-intercept. Okay. Describe the parabola that would be created by using f of x, right? It's 3 half x squared, and so forth. The width is narrow because A is greater than 1, right? It's 1.2. It opens up because A is positive. Okay. Y-intercept, this is the coordinate. I would accept y-intercept is equal to negative 17.25. If you say y-intercept, I'm fine with that. X-intercept, number of x-intercepts, I don't know, you probably would have had to plug this into your calculator, I'm guessing. But if this is pointing up, and the y-intercept is down here somewhere, if it's pointing up and it's going to touch this y-intercept, you know it's going to be 2, right? Like there's no other way around it. There will be 2 here. And so if you absolutely didn't know how to do it, plug it in here and see for yourself, right? You should be noticing that. Okay, next. Given the quadratic equation as follows, answer the following. So the vertex, x-intercepts, we call these characteristics of the parabola. So I wanted to just give you the numbers, but it's probably good to refresh on how to do this. Negative 4.5x squared. Make sure you use a negative for the leading coefficient. And then after that is plus or minus. Okay, so that's how it goes. I'm going to double check. Take that extra second to check. X squared, x, 15, everything is the way it's supposed to be. I hit graph. I know this is pointing down. I was able to tell already by just looking at it. It's narrow. That doesn't really help you a whole lot, to be honest. But sometimes you have ridiculous values, like a really small decimal between 0 and 1. The curve is so wide that sometimes you don't know what to do with your window. But if you realize, oh, this is a really wide one, let's just play with x min and x max for now, right? So let's do the same window, everybody. Like I'll try zoom 6. Zoom 6 doesn't really do a good job. Like it doesn't show me the vertex nor the intercept, the y-intercept here. So what do I need to change? Y max in this case. And I'm going to go 30 for now. Still not good enough. 60. That is decent, right? That's all there. Zoom fit could probably work. Try it if it works for you, but you may still have to change your window. So the vertex, this is a max, right? Second trace max. Otherwise, you will not be able to find the right one. So this is 213, 35, 48. And if you use your calculator, anything in this course, you go second trace max. Like you give me some indication as to what keys you pressed. So if you see a K circled on your work, it means you lost half a mark because you didn't indicate keystrokes, okay? Don't do this, okay? I have some students doing second trace max, and then they'll just try to guess. Like they'll just go close to it like that, and they'll just, like that's about it, and they'll just write down that number. I need it to be exact, because your calculator can do exact, okay? So don't try that. That's why I also want you to give me the keystrokes. X-intercept. You let y2 equal 0. Uh-oh, I let y2 equal my parabola, so I'm just going to go y1 is equal to 0. It doesn't matter. Okay, you have your two lines. Second trace 5 for intersect. Press enter 3 times. So the first one is that. Okay. The second one, you got to repeat second trace 5. I'm going to go over to that. Enter, enter, enter. That's 4.94. Okay. Y-intercept. I can just use it's in general form. I didn't indicate my keystroke, so hold on. Y2 is equal to 0. Second trace intersect. Okay. Down the road, you can just say second trace 5. That's fine with me. Axis of symmetry, it's given to me by the vertex. So it's the equation, it's the vertical line that crosses, that cuts it in half, goes through the vertex. The equation of the min or max, in this case it's a max, y is equal to 35.48. Remember, this is a vertical line, this is a horizontal line. Both, like this, basically gives you the coordinate of the vertex if you combine these two. Okay. The range, it would be y is less than or equal to, because remember, it's going like this. The vertex, the y value of the vertex is the highest it goes, and then it just goes down from there. So y is less than 35.48 if you use set notation, right? If you use interval, you got to go negative infinity all the way to 35.48. That gets a square bracket, this gets a round bracket. So it all has to do with the y value if it's range, the y value of the vertex. You need the vertex to figure out your range for sure. Okay. Determine the values of A, B, and C. A would just be negative 4.5. C would be 19.2. Sorry, B would be 19.2. C would be 15. But always watch out if in this case my general form was arranged already, x squared, x constant. Just make sure you look carefully. Okay. Now it's graphing time. So I gave you a grid, or axes, not a grid. So use your x-intercepts and your vertex as well as the y-intercept. Where is the y-intercept? Right here. All of that in conjunction should help you. X-wise, I'm not going far away sideways. So I'm just going to go 1. Okay, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'll just go 5 there. And I go 1, 2, 3. Go the same way to the left. You're having a scale of 1 on your x-axis. Make sure you call this x and y. Okay. So to get full marks. And then y-axis, I need to change my scale. I'm going to go with 10, I think. Yeah, it's going to be 10, 20, 30, 40, negative 10, negative 20, negative 30, negative 40, and so forth. If you do something like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, this is 50 up here. I'm okay with you just going from end to end and just giving me, in this case it's fine, I can tell you going up by 1. Or you're going up by 10 here, that is fine. So 0, 15 would be right about there. Vertex is 2, 13, 35. So 10, 20, 30, 35 would be somewhere here. So that's my vertex. One of the x-intercepts is at negative 6.7. One is almost at 5. And there you go. And you have y is equal to negative 4.5x squared plus 19.2x plus 15. Like that. So I would basically give you a mark for scale. I would give you a mark for labels. And so that means your axes, your equation, all of that, and I would give you one for shape. That's actually what the province does. What does shape mean? The points need to be approximately where they're supposed to be. So if one of these is like way off somewhere here and you're doing some kind of weird parabola that looks like this or something, which I hope you'll never do, but that would be, the province would consider it as a -1, right? It has to have that general shape that we're looking for. So, so this is a no-no, right? So what you should do is go back and check, like, is my scale right? Is the point wrong? What did I do wrong here? Obviously it's not jiving, right? So this page, this means that this 1.5 is not 1.5, right? You can cross that out. It's out of 3. Yeah, for this is out of 3. And half a mark for each of these ones here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 3.5 for the characteristics altogether. All of these combined, 3.5. So we've got 1 and 2, that's 3 already, and these 3 is 6, and this would be 9.5. So this page is worth 9.5. I think it's a little low for just half a mark each, but hey, we'll just go with it. You know what? I know what I've missed here. The x-intercept, you get actually half a mark for each one of them. So you get half for this one and half for this one, which makes this 4. So instead of 3.5, just make it out of 4, which makes this thing out of 10. Okay. The first page is out of 10. Because I added that extra half mark for the second x-intercept. You had to do all the work to get the second one. So, all right. Backside. A parabola goes through those 2 points. Calculate the axis of symmetry. I hope that you realized, oh, they're both 4 at the same height. So you kind of have to remember, we don't know which way this is pointing, by the way. But we know that they're both at the same height. It could be either one. It could be a parabola that's pointing down or up, but it goes through those 2 points. So what we're trying to find is, what is the axis of symmetry? Like what, in a sense, giving us half of the information we need for the vertex. Okay? So what you need to do here is just call this x1, x2. So it's -17 plus 24 over 2. And that would be 7 over 2, which is 3.5. So this is the axis of symmetry. There. That is this one right here, the line. So we indeed know that the vertex has an x value of 3.5. Okay. Describe a situation when the parabola will have 2 x-intercepts. You may use a diagram as part of the explanation. So it happens in the case where the vertex is below the x-axis and a is positive, or the vertex is above the x-axis and a is negative. Okay? Don't say when the vertex is negative. There is no such thing as a negative vertex. Okay? I know what you're saying. You're saying the y value of the vertex would be negative. The y value of the vertex would be positive. Then I would be okay with it. Okay? So you can say this. First option, when the vertex is below the x-axis and points up. In other words, A is positive. Okay. Yeah, that's what you get on a Monday. My writing is terrible today. Okay, when the vertex is below the x-axis and it points up, or the other way, when the vertex is above the x-axis and it points down. So either one of those is fine. If you give me a diagram, that would be great as well. It shows me understand what's happening. All right, keep going. F of x is that. Answer the following. Calculate f of 5 algebraically. In other words, okay, listen carefully. You're trying to find if x is equal to 5, what's the y value of that point on the parabola? That's what you're trying to find algebraically. So f of 5 is simply plugging in 5 wherever there is an x. Okay? So 5 squared plus 3 times 5 minus 5. Okay, this would be 4.85 times 25 plus 15 minus 5. And you could technically plug that into your calculator just like that, but I would like to see steps there. This is 121.25 plus 10 basically, okay, because 50 minus 5 is just 10. So that's 131.25. That's the y value. That's f of 5. Okay, so 131.25 is a point on the parabola. Okay. What did you find? I found a point on the parabola. And you can say this one more time. Some students just do the math and they don't really know what happened, like what did I just do? Can also be found using second trace 1, second trace value, x is equal to 5, you get the same answer. Okay. A parabola has a minimum of y is equal to 7 and a y-intercept of 15. How many x-intercept will it have? Explain. It has a minimum of 7, so let's picture this. Okay. We don't know if it's here or here, but right? What we do know is that the minimum is 7, so you can almost imagine this is your minimum. This is the lowest it will ever get. Y is 7 positive. The y-intercept is somewhere up on 15. Okay, so it either does something like this, okay, or you can kind of imagine that it does something like this. It doesn't matter. The y-intercept is there, the minimum is there, meaning it doesn't go lower than that. And the answer is 0, none, no x-intercepts, since we know that the vertex, is above the x-axis and it points up the parabola. And the points up part we knew because of the y-intercept. Right? I mean, there's a combination. The minimum is here. It just tells you like it's only going to go up from there. I don't think I needed to even give you the y-intercept, honestly, right? Like you just knew that's the lowest. It's just never going to cross it. Okay. There we go. So just a little bit of terminology and concepts here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I didn't give you marks for this, so I'll give you 6 and 7, 8. So this page is worth 8. The back side is worth 8 marks. Question? Good.